All right, guys, good morning. So today what we're going to do is we are going to re-go over the angle addition postulate. I don't think that we're at a place where we're ready to take the knowledge check yet. So I just want to give us extra practice, and then towards the end of class, we will take the knowledge check, or it will be homework depending on how far we get. But I think by the time you go into the knowledge check, you should have a very solid understanding of what exactly is going on with the angle addition postulate. I don't feel like if you went right into the knowledge check right now, you would be ready. So we will go over examples, and then I'll kind of walk you through the knowledge check as well, and then we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and share my screen. You should definitely have a piece of paper, and also if you have a hand calculator, that's easier than your computer one, but either way, you definitely should have a piece of paper for today. So I'm going to start screen sharing with you, and we will get started. All right, here we go. So this kind of looks a little bit different than it normally looks for you because this is some of my personal material that I have. So essentially what we want to kind of really focus on today is naming of angles and then filling information in and solving from there, okay? So the very first thing I like to kind of label mine in color. You don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I think that makes it easier. So DEG. So we want to go from D to E to G, okay? And in there, I'm gonna write, it says 66. It's a little hard to see, but we'll work with it. So in there we have 66 degrees. And then if we keep going down, the next angle that wants is GEF. So GEF is right here, this pink one. And we don't actually know anything about that. So we can't solve. That's what we're gonna solve for right now. And we're gonna call that X. So all I'm doing right now is labeling it. By the time we get to the bottom of the page, I won't need to label all these because you'll be more comfortable. And then we have DEF. So DEF is in green right here. Okay. So I will do this first one just so you can kind of get comfortable with what exactly we are doing, and then we'll go from there. So typically you want to take the entire thing, and the entire thing this time is in green. It's the whole big angle. So we want to take that, which is 140. And we want to subtract the orange, subtract 66. So in your calculator, you should be typing in 140 minus 66. Okay, I'll give you a second to do that. All right, what you're left with is 74 degrees, okay? So you actually solve for this X. This is 74 degrees. And I know we did an example like this on the slides, but I just didn't feel like we had enough practice to kind of move on yet. So I want to keep going over this. So we're going to do another example. I'm going to make my highlighting pen a little bit smaller here. So this time we have BCE. So what we want to do, we have BCE. We'll do that one in green. So BCE right there in green. Okay. And then I'm going to pick another color. We have ECD. So we start at E, go to C, over to D. So we're talking about this pink one. I have not been writing the labels in there. Sorry, I'll go back and do it. And then we have BCD. Oh, hang on. BC. Whoop, hang on. I messed up on one of them, didn't I? Yes, I did. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Let me just erase this. Sorry. This is a little bit fuzzy and hard. So this is B, C, D right here, which is what I should have done in the orange. So B, C, D. Right there, okay? And we don't know that one. That's what we're trying to solve. And then let me kind of backtrack here. We have E, C, D. Sorry about that, guys. And then we have, that's not gonna be a good color choice for you. BCE. So BCE is actually right here, okay? So we have everything labeled appropriately, and then let's fill in what we have. What we don't know, we're just gonna call X. So BCE is 77 right here, and we have ECD, which is 58. And we want to find the whole thing. We don't have the whole thing, so that's what we want to find. And when we do that, all we have to do is add the two pieces together to get the entire inside. So we can take 77 plus 58. So we're gonna take the green 77 plus 58, and you end up with 135. So that means the whole outside, which I've highlighted in orange, is 135 degrees. Does anybody have any questions on this or the process that you go through to get here? Anyone? Okay, someone just sent me a chat that they finished their interim 1. That is wonderful. What I need you to do is send me a screenshot of the score that you got on it. Okay, so we're going to continue on looking at more equations like this. Oh, this is going to be a long process to erase these, I have a feeling. Okay, let's look at question number 3. What we notice about question number 3 is there is a box right there in the corner, and that box means that this is 90 degrees. So we already know, if we were going to highlight it, we have GHJ. Well, there's a box right here. So we already know GHJ is 90 degrees because it has a box there. But we're going to actually backtrack and solve this whole equation just to be sure that we're doing it right. So we have GHK, and then we also have KHJ, which is going to be right here. Hopefully it's helping a little bit that I'm putting them in color. So it leaves us with 71, and it leaves us with 19 degrees. Well, 71 plus 19 also gives us 90 degrees. Therefore, we know that we have this answer correct, okay? So super important. We noticed right away that there was a box that said 90, so there wasn't any math we actually had to do, but it's okay. It's better safe than sorry. So continuing on looking at these, we're not going to do all of these, but they are really good practice, and this is uploaded in your Google Classroom. I think it's called Extra Practice Angle Addition Postulate. So we'll go ahead and label these with color again. We have A, B, D. So A, B, D is this one right here. And then we have D, B, C. So if we were in person, I would have you guys outlining these with colored pencil. Obviously, you cannot do that on your computer, but what you could do is use different colored dry erase markers if that helps you. So now we're going to look at this. We have DBC, which is 65, and then you also can draw like a line across the whole thing. So this one's 65, and the line across the whole thing is 130. This is how they have them written on your knowledge check, which I think is a little confusing. But that 130 goes for the yellow, the whole entire thing. So what we want to do is we want to take the whole thing, and we want to subtract out the pink, which is 65 degrees, and then you'll be left with the blue. So we have 130 minus 65, and you are left with 65 right here. So can someone tell me what you would call those two angles? What would you call the blue and the pink angle? What would you call the blue and the pink angle? You can respond in the chat. They have the exact same measure. It's a word that starts with a C.
Congruent?
Yes, beautiful. They are congruent angles. So that's kind of just like a good thing to notice sometimes. Let's go ahead and look at another one, HJL. So HJL is right here. That is what we're trying to find this time. And then we have LJK. So LJK is right here. And lastly, we have, oh, I forgot to highlight that, didn't I? Oop, that didn't go very well. All right, lastly, we have HJK. So that's the whole entire thing. So I'm going to start writing these normally the way that they're going to be written on your knowledge check, even though I think it's a little more difficult to understand. So we have LJK, which is 17 degrees. So we have 17 degrees in this little tiny nugget angle. And then for the entire blue angle, we have 100 degrees. Well, the blue one is the entire thing. So we can subtract it out. And we are left with 83 degrees, okay? Questions on that? How are we feeling on this? How about you give me a virtual thumbs up or a virtual thumbs down, depending on how you feel. All right, I got a thumbs up. I got 2 thumbs up. Oh, good. I like seeing these thumbs ups. Okay, perfect. I didn't think this was that difficult, but I also felt like we needed a little more practice before our knowledge check. So I think that we've kind of had that. I want to do a few more difficult ones involving X with you. If you need more practice on this, you can go ahead and go on Google Classroom after class and look at this and see how you're feeling. So let's go ahead and look at these. These are more complicated, and so I think that this is probably where we should focus most of our attention, okay? So first things first, I like to highlight what we have going on here. So we have PQS. So PQS is this pink one right here. And then we have SQR. Perfect. And then it tells us that PQR, right here. So PQR, this whole entire thing, which we could write it like they write it in your book, all the way across here is 141. Well, we know that the whole entire thing is 141. If we were to take these two angles on the inside, the pink and the green, and add them together, so we could take 13x plus 4 plus 10x minus 1. We can add both of those angles together on the inside, and we can set them equal to 141. Because we know that the green and the pink added together are going to equal the entire thing. So that's how we came up with that equation, and then we're going to combine our like terms. So we have 23x, because we took 13 and 10, so I'm going to cross those out. And then we have 4 minus 1, which gives us positive 3 equals 141. And then we're just going to continue solving like you normally would in any other type of equation. We're going to subtract 3. So we have 141 minus 3. 138. And we're left with 23x on this side. We need to undo this division, or undo this multiplication by using division. And you find that x is 6. X is 6 is actually one of the blanks over here, so we can go ahead and fill that in. And then we need to backtrack and plug it into all of these, okay? So I'm gonna change my pen color here. We're gonna plug into the pink right now. And I'm gonna do it over here in pink. So we have 13 times 6 plus 4. So you can just use a calculator. And you get 82. Well, we're talking about the pink angle, so we can go down here and fill that in. And then when we look at the green one, right here, we can plug it in. So we have 10 times 6 minus 1. This should be pretty easy. We should be able to do that in our head. We get 59. If I added, hang on, let me get another color here. If I added these two together without actually adding them, what exactly would I get? Automatically, we know if I added these two together, the outside angle here is orange, it's the big one, and we know the big side angle is 141. So if I take 82 plus 59, I get 141. So there is a way to check your work on this and kind of backtrack. So it's important that you're actually capitalizing on that opportunity and doing that, okay? Questions on this? I think we definitely need more practice on this, but I think that this is doable for us. It's definitely not going to be doable if you don't have a pencil and a piece of paper. Eventually we'll get all of these erased. Okay, let's do a bunch more examples, okay? So it says, let's go ahead and highlight. We have DEF. So DEF, D to E to F, okay? And I'm gonna actually write it on the outside because I feel like there's more room when I write it on the outside. It is 7x plus 4. And then we have DEG, oh, hang on. It's a little confusing switching between all these pens here, sorry guys. DEG, so we have DEG is right here. And I can write that in there really small, 5x plus 1. And then, oh, this should be highlighted, sorry. And then we have GEF. Oh, that's too close of a color. GEF. G to E to F, and we have 23 degrees. And I need to switch. This is a lot of work switching between all these pens. We have 23 degrees, okay? So eventually there's a lot of things that we have to find. It wants us to find DEG. Well, DEG, we already have that outlined in purple, so we can outline it over here. And then it wants DEF, which is the green one. So we can highlight that over here. We know exactly what we're looking for, so we can go ahead and solve for this equation. So when we look at this, we know that the purple and the orange added together are going to equal the entire thing, okay? So if we take the purple, which is 5x plus 1, and we add it to the orange, which is 23, we know it's going to equal the entire thing, which is 7x plus 4, okay? Because you took the two insides and you are now adding them to the outside. So we have 5x plus 24, so I'm combining like terms, equals 7x plus 4. And then we're going to solve. Okay. And you guys should know how to solve for these. But if you are struggling, there are like so many videos of resources of how to solve for X online. Or you can also request to come to tutoring. So once we've actually taken this and solved all the way out, we find that our X equals 10, okay? Well, what are we gonna do with that 10? All we need to do is plug it in. So anytime we see an X, we need to plug it in. So first I'm gonna start by plugging it into this purple one right here. So we have 5 times X, which is 10, plus 1. So that gives us 50 plus 1 is 51, right? And I already have these labeled in color. Next, it wants DEF, which I've already labeled in green. And we know that that is this one that I've written in black here. So we have 7 times 10 plus 4, which gives us 74. Okay. Questions on that? If there's anyone that's completely lost, you can go ahead and send me a message in the chat. We're gonna do several more of these though. But if you're totally lost, you can send a message in the chat. 1 second, somebody just showed up. Let's go ahead and look at another one of these, okay? It says, if the measure of JKM equals 43 degrees. So let's go ahead and start with our colors. So we have JKM right here, and it equals 43 degrees. And then next, oh, I forgot to highlight it in the thing. Hang on. Next, we'll do it in pink, and we have MKL, M to K to L, and that gives us 8x minus 20. And then lastly, we have this one right here, JKL, so JKL right here. And I like to write that on the outside personally, right here, 10x minus 1, okay? So if we look and we go over to the side, we have JKL, which is right here. And then we have, oops, MKL, which is in pink. So I can highlight that over here. So we know exactly what we're looking for and we are ready to go. So as we've learned from the previous examples, we know that the two insides are gonna equal the outside. So we have 43 degrees right here, plus 8x minus 20, and that's going to equal the whole outside, which is 10x minus 1, okay? And then from there, we're going to go ahead and solve. So you get 8x plus 23 equals 10x minus 1. What we did there is we just went ahead and combined like terms to solve for this equation, okay? And now we're going to get all of our x's on one side. Okay, so I'll kind of let you sit on that for a second. So you find x equals 12. I'm sorry, my handwriting is really not that beautiful on this board, but we will work with what we have. All right. And then now we just need to plug it back into each of these. I'm currently going to plug it into the pink one, so I'm going to write in pink for you. So we have 8 times 12 minus 20. And when we do that, we have 8 times 12 minus 20 in our calculator gives us 76. Okay. Then when we go ahead and we look at the blue one, we're going to plug it into the blue, which is why I'm going to write in blue. So we have 10 times 12 minus 1. So 10 times 12 minus 1 gives us 119. How could we check our work and see if we are correct? Well, for this right here, we got 76. And then for this outside one, which is in blue, we got 119. Well, if we took these insides and added them together, it should equal 119. So 43 plus 76 gives us 119. So there's always a way for us to check our work, even if it might not seem completely obvious at the very beginning. So can somebody give me thumbs up? Doesn't necessarily mean you can do this on your own. It means that you're understanding what's going on, and after a few more examples, you're going to be able to do it on your own. Okay, so if you feel like confident, like I'm going to get this by the end of this class period, give me a thumbs up. I'm still doing a few more examples though. Okay, I got a few less thumbs ups. So hopefully in the next 2 questions, we're gonna feel better. Okay, so DEF is a straight angle. How many degrees is a straight angle? How many degrees is a straight line? I think every one of you should be answering this right now. How many degrees is a straight line?
180.
Yeah, so we know automatically that this is 180 degrees, right? Pink is 180 degrees. Perfect. So DEF. Oh, and it's already, look at this. It's already right here. Well, we automatically know already, no matter what, that DEF is a straight line, so it's 180 degrees. Look at that. We didn't even have to do any math for that. Then it wants DEG, which I can highlight in orange. So we have DEG, DEG, DEG. And it tells you DEG is 23x minus 3. Then it tells you that GEF, which is right down here, GEF, you guys don't have to do all the work of color coding. I'm just trying to make it a little easier for you. And we know that that angle is 12x plus 8. Well, we know if we take the insides, which in this case happen to be orange and green, so the orange one is 23x minus 3, and the green one is 12x plus 8. If we take those and add them together, it's going to equal 180 degrees. Okay? So we just need to combine our like terms. So we have a 23 plus 12. So you end up with 35x. And then you have negative 3 plus 8, which gives you 5. And solve to equal 180. We're going to subtract 5 from both sides. This would be really difficult to do if you did not have a piece of paper. So it's important, especially when you go to take the knowledge check, that you have a sheet of paper, okay? Next, we have DEG. So once the orange one, I'm gonna write in orange to kind of help you. So we're gonna fill in 23 times 5 minus 3. So 23 times 5 equals 115. Subtracting out 3 gives us 112. Okay? Then next in green, we have 12 times 5 plus 8. 12 times 5 equals plus 8 equals 68 right here, okay? If I took that 112 and added it to 68, together the orange and the green, those should both equal the pink, which is 180. So 112 plus 68 actually gives us 180, so that is positive news, okay? We'll do one more example on this, and then we'll take a look at what our knowledge check is, and then we'll complete the knowledge check. I think that you guys will do better now that you've had a little more practice. So last one, let's go right here, TUW. So TUW, and TUW is right here. Go ahead and write it in black. So we end up with 5x plus 3. Then we have WUV, which is 10x minus 5. Oh, and WUV right here. And then the last one we have, I'll do in orange, which is TUV. So T to U to V, which is right here. And I like to write it personally on the outside. Is 17x minus 16. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add the two insides, which are the green and the pink, and we're going to add them together. So we have 5x plus 3 plus 10x minus 5. And it's going to equal the whole outside. And then we're going to solve. So we have 5x plus 10, which is 15x. And we have positive 3 minus 5, which gives us negative 2. And then we're going to solve. I don't expect you to be as fast at this as I am. But you should know how to do this. And if you don't, all you need to do is go online and look up solving for angles, okay? So we found that our x is 7. Now we can actually go ahead and plug it into all of these. So I'm going to start with the big one on the outside, which is an orange. So we're going to take 17. Whoop, we don't need an x in there anymore, do we? Because we have our x now. So we're at 17 times 7 minus 16. And we find that this orange one is 103. So automatically I know once I find the green and the pink, they're going to add together to be 103. So looking at the green, we have 5 times 7 plus 3. 5 times 7 equals 35 plus 3 is 38. And then we're going to go over to this pink. And we have 10 times 7 minus 5. So 10 times 7 minus 5 gives us 65. If I took that 38 and that 65 and I added them together, I would get 103 because we know that outside, when we add it with the inside, totals together. Okay? So all right, so go ahead right now. We're going to transition into the knowledge check. That being said, I want to kind of go over it with you so you can see what exactly is happening prior to the knowledge check, okay? So what I would do right now, if I were you and you don't have a sheet of paper out yet, I would definitely take a sheet of paper out. So I'll give you about 1 minute to get a sheet of paper out and a pencil, okay? So sheet of paper and a pencil. So you got 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to kind of outline with you what is happening for this so you know what you're looking for. So if I were on your sheet of paper, I would write question 20 and any notes that I go over that you may need, okay? So it says A, B, C, which I'm going to outline right here in orange is 22. And then it says, I'm going to make my marker a little bit bigger. Then it says DBC, which I'm going to outline right here in pink. And then lastly, it's asking us for ABD. Well, ABD is this whole entire outside. So we're going to have to add those two together to solve for this, okay? So that's question 22. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on here. Let me kind of backtrack and put this in the special colors. That way for the next class, I don't have to re-highlight everything. Awesome. Question C, it says given C is not on line AOB. So C is not on line AOB. Obviously, it's all the way up here. What do we know about C though? C is a straight line. Straight lines are going to equal 180, right? So AOB is going to be 180. And then let's go through and kind of look at the rest of these. So we have COB, which is right here, COB. And then we have AOC right here. Well, if you know the green equals 180, all you have to do is take 180 and subtract from 47 to solve. Okay? Looking at question 22, this is where I think it's confusing just based on the way that they have these drawn in. So let's go ahead and look at this. We have OLM. So OLM is right here. It's this big one. Well, if you notice this big one, you see how this goes across all of them? So that's 64. Okay? So OLM is 64. Then it tells us that OLN is 53. OLN right here is 53, okay? Which is what they've done in the red right here. So they've kind of drawn theirs a little bit differently, and that's okay. We can work with different. And then lastly, they tell us that to find NLM. So they want us to find this whole thing, okay? We don't know. Well, we have the whole thing and we have a piece of it, so we can just subtract those. Looking at question 23, it says ABD is 95. So we know ABD, this whole entire thing right here, is 95. So the whole outside is 95. When we were in class, I wrote it on the outside like this because to me, that's the way it makes sense. They prefer to write it, oh, get my marker back. They prefer to write it on a long line like that. So we know that this is 95. Continuing on with this, we have CBA. So CBA right here. And we know that that is 48. And then lastly, looking at this, they want us to find DBC. So they're giving us the entire thing in a little piece, and we have to find what is left over. So we don't know what's in purple. All right, this one I think that you can handle it on your own. I've gone through enough examples here. Okay, we will highlight what's going on here to kind of help you with that. So we have TRS. So I will do that in purple. T to R over to S. So we know this angle right here is this color. And then we have orange, SRQ. So SRQ is the entire outside. SRQ is the whole outside. And then it wants QRT. You guys are not going to be able to do this one, I don't think. Well, I won't count this one for points. I'll go in and adjust it. But it wants you to find the entire angle, which is what we will call QRT. So essentially, you're just going to have to kind of make an equation. Attempt it the best you can. Okay, so this one we need a picture. So on your own sheet of paper right now, make sure you are drawing a picture with this one, okay? It says C is in the interior of TUV. So we have TUV, which I will call this, oh, what in the world? What is that? I don't know what just happened. Okay, maybe I need to pick my pencil up when I draw these. I have no idea. 1 second. So we have TUV, okay? And it says C is in the interior. So that means that it does not equal 180 degrees. It just means C is in the interior. So if we wanted to label these, we could call this TU. Why isn't it letting me write? TUV. And we have C. Oh my gosh, let me write. And we have C right there, okay? So we can go ahead and fill this stuff in. Then you have TUV, which is the whole entire outside. So I could re-highlight this in purple. The whole entire outside. Make sure you're drawing this on your own paper, otherwise it's gonna be pretty difficult. Which I'm gonna write on the outside right here is 10x plus 72, okay? Then looking at it further on the inside, you have TUC. TUC is right here. And they tell you that is 14x plus 18. And then you also have CUV. So CUV is 9x plus 2. So we know if we take that pink and the green, so the pink and the green, you can add them together and you end up with the purple. So you should have this written down on your own sheet of paper right now. Okay. Let's look at another one. Holy moly, this knowledge check just keeps going, huh? So it says D is in the interior of ABC. So If it's in the interior, we know it is not on a straight line. So we can go ahead and draw this. This would be our D. Then we have A, B, C. Okay? C, B, oh, where'd my D go? So C, B, A, C to B to A, so it's talking about the whole outside, is 11x plus 66. And then we have DBA. Oop, let me pick a different color here. We have DBA, which is, oh, hang on, I'm falling behind here, is 5x plus 3. And you have, I don't know how they thought you could do this with no practice, CBD, which is right here, which is 13x plus 7, okay? So you now have the two insides, and those are gonna equal the outside, and the outside is the one that's in green. So your two insides are orange and pink, and they're gonna equal the outside, which is in green. Looking at the last one here. So it says F is in the interior. So all of these have been in the interior. Yep, a little crazy, but it's in the interior. So let's look at the next one. So we draw this, and we know that F is in the interior of D, Q, P. So it says DQ, oh, I don't know why the letters disappear after I write them. It says DQP right here, DQP, and that's the outside, is 3x plus 44. And then it tells us that FQP, so F to Q to P, right here is, and you should be writing all these down, 8x plus 3. And then lastly, oh, tells us DQF. So D to Q to F is 5x plus 1. All it wants you to do is solve for x. So you need to add the pink and the green, and you'll get the orange to solve for x, okay? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to complete this knowledge check. If you do not finish it within class, you need to finish it for homework. I will give you no, actually, I'm not going to give you any time next week to finish this because I don't think you're going to leave this open on your computer until Tuesday. So you need to have finished this. You have the remainder of class to do this knowledge check. Let me look and see which knowledge check this is specifically called for you. 1 second. This is called Angle Addition Postulate 20 through 28. Okay, so you're doing the Angle Addition Postulate 20 through 28. And if you don't finish it, you're going to do it as homework. Angle Addition Postulate 20 through 28. So I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Okay, so you should be in breakout rooms. So you should be in breakout rooms. All right, you're not paying attention, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put you in a waiting room.